Hey, what's up? It's your mortgage expert, Brian McCauley. So you're thinking about getting a house in Dallas, Texas, but these high interest rates and high payments have you concerned about affordability? Stick around. In this next video, I'm going to show you why getting a roommate is a win-win. So we know the housing market, specifically here in Dallas, has cooled off. It's a great thing for buyers, but when you tie what's going on with the housing market in right now to an economic correction / recession, people have a lot of concerns about their debt, about their overhead, and about their cash flow position. And what I'm finding is this is putting people in a mental state of block, and they're concerned about buying a house. Not because now interest rates are up and the payments are up, you can still negotiate a lot of the cost and the price and everything with the sellers, but given what's transpiring here, people are worried if they can actually just make the payment. So what I'm finding a lot of people are doing is one of two things. Number one, they're getting a cosigner. If you want to get a cosigner to qualify, who help you out with the payment, that's always a nice thing if you've got a family member that's willing to do that. For those that don't, what I'm finding a lot of people are doing is they're going back to the roommate equation. I think it's a smart thing to do. I bought my first house when I was 26 or 27. I kept it till I was 30, and what I did was just use this strategy to help me out and help the roommate out financially. So a lot of people, 20s and 30s are maybe not married yet, or maybe they're separated from their partner, divorced, and they're back as a single individual. So they want to go out. They don't want to rent a small apartment. They don't want to pay $2,000 a month. It's just a waste of money. There's not enough space. So the strategy that people are considering now, what I want to talk about today, is getting a roommate. Conceptually, the way this works is if you've got two people that are friends, both of them are single, and let's say both of them are renting an apartment, they're probably renting an apartment, $2,000 a month, and they probably got about 1,000 square feet. And so my encouragement would be, for one of those individuals to step up to the plate, qualify for a home loan, get the house in their name, but obviously have the roommate come in and pay rent to help out with the overhead and the bills. So first and foremost, you're going to get a much nicer place than what you currently live in, and it's going to be a lot bigger. So as opposed to having a 1,000 square foot apartment, one individual may buy a property that's $450,000, put 5 or 10% down. That house may be 2,000, 2,500, even 2,800 square feet. It may have a backyard. And so, that property itself is a lot bigger than a one-bedroom apartment. Mortgage note on something like that's probably going to be around $3,000, maybe $3,200. So right there, if the person that buys the house absorbs a roommate, and that roommate was paying, $2,000 for rent for a 1,000 square foot apartment, he or she can say, hey, here's what I'll do. I'm going to buy a $450,000 house. I'm going to put 5 or 10% down. The mortgage is going to be $3,200 a month. Why don't we split it? Okay, I'll pay $1,600, you pay $1,600. So right there, each person is netting and saving $400 a month. That's a big financial win for both parties. Also, when they get into the mortgage, the costs are fixed. So if somebody wants to stay there for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they're getting a better deal on the house rent than they would get on an apartment. They're getting more space, but also historically, apartments go up over time. The home loan is fixed for X amount of years, and so whatever they're paying as that border additional income to the homeowner is going to stay fixed, which keeps their budget equal and down every single month. When it comes to the homeowner piece and the person that's actually qualifying for the home loan, this is really a win-win for them. Number one, they're able to buy a $450,000 house, put 5 or 10% down, have a mortgage payment that they probably don't want to pay on their own, and they split it with a roommate. So they're getting a great house with a great space for half the cost. The second thing is, as the homeowner and the renter are both splitting the mortgage notes, they're continuously paying down that mortgage note together each and every year. So if they stay there for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they'll probably pay off 5 to 6% of the note, which means when it comes time to sell, that homeowner will actually get some of the money that they put into the equation back in their pocket. Second big piece on that is appreciation. So the person that owns the home, if they're buying a house at $450,000, and right now if homes go back to appreciating at a general historical level of 3 or 4% a year, that house is going to appreciate anywhere from 12 to 15 grand. If the homeowner and the renter stay in that property for 3 or 4 years, again, when the homeowner goes to sell, they're going to pick up probably $40,000 or $50,000 in equity. So by doing what they're doing now, which is, paying rent, having a place, if they convert that into a buy, you're going to have two people that have a bigger, nicer place that split the cost. So that way it's cheaper on them each than what the actual market rent is. The homeowner has a lot less burden on them because they have somebody splitting the mortgage, keeping their overhead down. They get to buy a house that they'd like. Both parties get to stay in there for a lot cheaper and a lot more space and room and a lot more fixed cost than if they lived in an apartment. You know, when I sold my house and did this, I think I ended up making like $12,000 on the bottom line. But the truth of the matter is that myself and my roommate had a great townhouse for 4 years. I think my mortgage payment was $1,500. I think I charged my roommate $700 and I paid $500 or $800. And it was just a win-win for everybody. We had a 2-story townhome. It was 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. You weren't able to capture that as a rental. You can't get that as a rental now. It's very small, very tight, very noisy, and the rent continues to increase. So that way, you know, both the homeowner and the renter come out winning in this situation. Now, the fact that I only made 12 grand is a testament to, you know, living in a house, you can sell the house and you can still make money. When you're renting, all the money goes down the tube. You don't get any of it back. You don't get any tax deductions. You don't get any appreciation. You don't pay down a note. And so it's a dead end road. I tell everybody rent is not a long-term play to build wealth. If you have to do it short-term because you're living somewhere short-term, or maybe it's something to do with a job, or maybe you're just not in a position to own a house, renting is okay, but it has to be temporary. The recommendation though is to become a homeowner, but I get it right now with the way the economy is and with the way liquid reserves are and people being concerned about overhead, it's scary buying a house. So the roommate effect is really a win-win for everybody, because again, if you put the side-by-side comparisons together, 2 individual people paying $2,000 a month, 1,000 square feet, and all that money is going to waste. One of those people steps up to the plate, buys a house, they split the mortgage, it's much cheaper on both of them from the start. The monthly payment's gonna stay fixed, so therefore they don't have to worry about the variable cost. The homeowner gets the benefit of having somebody else helping them pay down the notes, helping them with repairs around the house, helping them with utilities, while also being able to get a little bit of tax deductions and appreciation on the house. So as we continue to move into a questionable economy and people are concerned about which direction they want to go, paying high rents for a long period of time is a dead-end road. So if you want to buy a house, you're concerned about the financial position, and you want to ease the burden on everybody and maybe give somebody else who's a friend of yours who's renting over the next couple of years a better financial opportunity, have a conversation about buying a house, have them become a long-term renter for 2 or 3 years, have everybody share the expenses, the homeowner comes out on top, and I really think it's a win-win for everybody. So listen, thanks for watching. If you found this video useful or helpful, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. If you got a question about the housing market or just a question about your financial position in general, drop a comment below. Myself or my team will make sure to get back to you. And if you want to set up a phone call just to talk about your direction, your housing plans, what's going on with your financial strategy, call us, email us, text us. I am always here to help. Until next time, stay tuned.